All right, this is Deacon Blues by Steely Dan. This one's got about 1,000,000 killer jazz chords in it. So we're going to start out with this first sequence, and then I'll break it down for you. So we got... Okay, so that's our little intro going on there. We got 998. That's on the D string going down to the B string. 998 to 778. And then we have 776 to 556. So these are repeating shapes here. And then we have 11 11 10 to 9 9 10. And then we're back to the 998 to 778. And then we have a little hammer on here. So that's 8 and 6, hammering into the 8 of the first string. And then that's 7 8 on those next two strings. And then we have ahead of the beat, we have an upbeat on the 4 and of that E7 sharp 9 there. So we got... Okay, and then we're into kind of the groove that becomes the verse and stuff. Think about this, you got, this is your recurring shape. Well, first it happens where you got these two fingers on the 9, and then it's just down 2 from there. And then it's up 2 from where you started, back to your original one. And then you got your... Okay, then we're gonna settle into, we got a G6 chord here. So we have the G bass, and we're gonna mute the A string, 5 4 5, and these next three, mute the little E string. So we're gonna have a basic strum through the whole song is da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum. So it's like 1 and 3 and. Okay, so we're gonna have G6 to F6, and then our next chord is gonna be a G chord with an A bass. So we'll get to that when we get to that. So here we go, 2 3 and F6. Now our G to A is we're gonna have with the pinky down here, 5 4 3 of a G chord with an A bass up here. And we're still muting the A and the E there. So we got... So that one splits a measure. Back to that F6. Then the F6 is gonna have its own measure. So let's look at that. 2 3 and... That was its whole measure. And then you got the same thing. Now this time, G with the A bass to D9. Okay, and that was a half measure plus a whole measure again. So that would be... And then the D9 is 5 on the D string, 4 5 5 5. So that would be a ba-dum, da, and then a whole measure of that. Okay, and then we have the F add 9, 8 7 5 8. Now this is an E7 flat 9. So once again, the F add 9 was 8 7 5 8. That 8 down there is the 9, the added 9. And then we have this E7 flat 9. So it's 7 on the A, 6 7 6. So you got to bar that like that. So it's... And then there's a couple ways we're gonna do A minor 7 in this. I just have it all 5s with that 7 on the A string. Later we're gonna do it like this, without that 5 in the low range there. Kind of more jazzy there. But you can mix it up, and they use definitely different versions of different chords, the same chord, but different versions within this tune too, and in a lot of their tunes. So we got the A minor 7. Now we're gonna have a B flat 13. That's 6 up here, nothing on the A, 6 7 8 on those next three, and mute the E too. Okay, then we have our kind of standard E7 here, 7 6 7 5. Now we're gonna come down to this B7, 2 4 2 4 2. Because when we bring these two down, we have that B minor 7 flat 5, that half diminished. We're gonna go to an E7, and then like I say, we're gonna go to different E7s. We have the E7 after that with the 3 in the second string, and then we have the 2 1 3 3 E7 sharp 9. Okay, so coming from that F add 9, we got E7 flat 9, A minor 7, B flat 13, E7, B7, B minor half diminished, E7, different E7, E7 sharp 9. Okay, so that is verse 1. Then we're into verse 2. It's going to be kind of the same, basically all the same, but just a few changes, you know. So we're going to have the G6 again, 3, 4, F6, G with A bass to F6, whole measure for F6, G6, F6. Now our G to A, we're going to an A9 this time. So we got big 5 and then 5, 4, 5 on the D down to B. So that's G with A bass, splitting the measure with this A9, and then a whole measure of A9, and then we're back to our F add 9, E7 flat 9, A minor 7. Now this time we're going G minor 7, C9, splitting the measure. So that's big 3, mute, and then 3, 3, 3. You could do it that way, but it kind of helps this way going right into that C7, 9 chord. So it's now we're going F major 7. Now we have a new one, E minor 7 sharp 5, 7, 10. So I got to get my pinky over here in the 10th fret of the D string. 7, 10, 7, 8, E minor 7 sharp 5. Then we have a D9. And then we have F with a G bass. So they bring in a brand new one right before the chorus there. So verse 2 once again. Now this time the G with the A goes to A9. Got our F, E7 flat, A minor 7. Now we got G minor 7, C9, F major 7. Got that E minor 7, sharp 5, D9, F with the G bass. Okay, now we're on the chorus. We got A minor 7. We got E minor 7. 7, 9, 7, 8, 7. Down 2 frets, same shape, D minor 7. Now we got C major 7, 3, 5, 4, 5, 3. Take that down to B flat major 7. Now we're going to go E minor 7 to G6, splitting the measure. Now we go. We got those last 4 awesome chords. We got an F sharp 7 flat 5, that's 2, mute the A, 2, 3, 1. This is an F major 7, 3, 5, 5, 5. So we got. And then on the upbeat, we got that E minor 7 with the sharp 5 again. And on an upbeat, we got that F add 9 again. And then we're gonna go through that chorus again. Down to C major 7, down to B flat major 7. Now we go A minor 7, E minor 7, and then we have the turnaround chords starting on the 11, 11, 10. And then down to, and then the chord here goes E flat major 7 to E7 sharp 9. There's a little fill there, you can go. So that's like 6s to 8s, kind of sliding down there. And that one is actually on the downbeat, that E7 raised 9. So the chords right after that chorus. We got the turnaround. Okay, and then you're back into verse 1. So I'm not going to go all the way through verse 1 again. You can follow that through. It goes to verse 2 after that. And then the chorus is going to happen twice. The chorus is kind of new. Let's look at the chorus again. 2, 3, and. course, it repeats itself. B flat, A minor to G, hits. And then you got these chords again. We got our turnaround. Now the fill, this one goes. So you got 5 and 6 into 7 and 8. And that would be over that. See how those notes are in that E flat major 7? By themselves, they sound kind of like a power chord thing, but as part of that E flat major 7, you can see they add a different kind of texture. Now this next one, you kind of wait a minute and then you go. So you got 8s to 10s, 10s to 8s. That goes right into the bridge. This is like the saxophone solo. So we're gonna have C major 7 here. 3, 5, 4, 5, 3. E minor 7. Now we have the A13, which is 5 with 5, 6, 7. Now we have D7 sharp 9, 5, 4, 5, 6. Then G13, you get used to these 13s after a while, right? Now we're gonna go to the B7 sharp 9 here, 2, 1, 2, 3. So let's look at those so far. We got C major 7 to E minor 7, 2, 3, and A13. D raise 9, G13, B raise 9, E minor 7, A9, which was that 5 with 5, 4, 5, and then we got. So the chords here we have is 3, 5, 5, 5, that's F major 7, to an F sharp raise 9, 4, 3, 5, 5, and then a G major 7, 5 with 7s. Now we have this chord 7, and then nothing on the D, and then 7, 8, 8. Okay, so it's. Then we're back to bridge. E minor 7, A13 coming up. D raise 9, G13, B raise 9, E minor 7, A9. We got these chords again. This one's gonna have a different one. So this is like a B augmented with a flat 9 kind of thing. So 2, 1, 0, 1, kind of a weird one there. And then we're gonna get back to the intro chords. We got that E flat major 7, E7 sharp 9. And then at that point, you're in verse 2 again. Then you do the chorus again twice. And then you do verse 1. So let's do the verse 1 here on the outro where it's instrumental. So we got 3, 4. Now this one, D9. Then we got the F, E7 flat 9. A minor 7, B flat 13, E7, B7. Got those E7s. Okay, then it's gonna go. And then your verse 1 again. And that verse 1 just has the D9 instead of the A9. And it has a few different other chords too. So thanks a lot for watching, y'all. Deacon Blues, Steely Dan, one of the greats of all time, one of the greatest jazzy pop kind of mixture of styles, tune of all time. Great chords, amazing Becker and Fagan. All the great musicians on their albums. Tip of the hat to y'all. Props. Peace out.